Right guys, we are back with yet another week's site update at our site in Woodford Green. This week I'm going to show you around the project, show you what we've done this week, but also show you what the plan is for next week and the problems that we have faced this week. We have faced quite a few problems this week. I'm going to go over those in details, but I'm also going to show you not just the problems that we've faced, but show you exactly how we've overcome them and how we've dealt with them with the client. I'll show you around. So, first off, this week we've been here for 1 week. We've dug all of the foundations out, we've shuttered up for pipework that we've found, we've also poured all of the foundations, so the foundations are now ready for brickwork. So we've been on site for about 1 week. We've excavated the foundations and we've poured the concrete. And we've faced 3 big problems already. But it's not about the problems, it's about how they're overcome. First one is we had 1.8 metres worth of drainage in our foundation. So what does that mean? Obviously we can't encase the pipework in concrete. So we have to lintel over. But because it's such a big span, we had to get our structural engineer's opinion and get it drawn up with the calculations to determine exactly what beam needs to go there. So now we've got the architect's approval with the structural calculations, we've got the beam designed, we sent that to our steel manufacturers and that's being delivered on site Monday, so that's problem 1 resolved. We sat down with the client, we updated him, let him know what the whole situation was, went through the process and showed him the process so then he could see the problem and the solution, all dealt with without him having to worry. So the third problem we faced is when we was excavating on one side of our foundation, we obviously exposed the neighbour's foundation. Now it was clear to see that by a mile that their foundation was not sufficient for their extension. So what did we do? We of course had to notify the neighbour. We sat down, we spoke with him, we showed him what it was and showed him what it should have been like. Now there's a couple of ways we can go about this and we're dealing with it as we speak. We're speaking to our structural engineer yet again to come up and determine a solution for this problem. Obviously the client is very upset and she's a bit worried because obviously it's a foundation to her house that is not sufficient and she was stressing, worrying about it, but of course it's our job to reassure them and make sure that we come up with a solution as promptly as possible that doesn't delay us, that also helps them out the best it possibly can. So on these updates, it's not just about the progress and what we do week by week, but it's trying to show you and give you an understanding on what we do throughout the whole process, the problems that we face and how we resolve them. Stay tuned next week where you can see how we overcome the problem, the RSJ's installed, and of course, as always, the progress for that week. What I'll also do is show you any other problems that we may have faced and how we overcome them. Stay tuned.